our esteemed dignitaries, our IOD Global family members, corporate board members and affiliated stakeholders, a very, very warm welcome to you. It's a beautiful morning here in Delhi. Thank you so much for turning up in great numbers for the 34th Annual Directors Conclave. Let's get this started with a good round of applause, please. And of course, this would not have been possible to achieve this important milestone without your support. It's been a humbling and an inspiring journey, and we have you to thank for all of this. But before we get going, can we have a huge round of applause for IOD, everybody out there for 34 years of service, and the team that put this conclave together. Thank you. And now, before we get into the opening session of this conclave, ladies and gentlemen, a big word of thanks for our partners without whom this conclave would not have been possible. And now it's time to give this conclave a befitting start with the auspicious lamp lighting ceremony.
On discussions at today's annual Directors Conclave, this will provide you a platform for exchange of views and networking to synthesize approach to future course of action. It is a matter of great pleasure that we shall be felicitating today IOD's new institutional life members who joined the IOD family during August 23 to July 2024. This also reflects the confidence of the corporate sector in functioning of IOD and how they can improve their effectiveness by joining the IOD's membership.
Perhaps one of the features we see today in India's landscape is the rapid growth in the economy, the rapid growth in markets. We see that companies have been able to expand at a pace which they could not have imagined maybe a decade ago. The last decade has seen huge expansion and huge opportunities, and boards which the owners wanted to capitalize on them, and they can't do this alone. The challenges that crop up are of a different order altogether, and for that we need specialized inputs from people who are independent. And here comes in the importance of the independent board member. As, of course, also one has to change the outlook of the board itself.
A lot, of course, has been written and talked about. Both Mr. Kheruka and General Surendranath talked about ESG, and ESG is often confused with climate. But to my mind, of the three letters, G is the most important. If you have G in place, E and S fall in place. And we know great companies that have good governance on their boards, in their companies. E and S, we are ahead of Germany. We would be ahead of any other country. You talked about diversification. I again would agree with Mr. Kheruka that diversification helps, but General Nath, you should have also mentioned that when you talk about diversification, we should perhaps have more Faujis on the board also. They bring discipline, they bring character, and I think if that happens, it will go a long way in improving the standards as far as our country is concerned.
But as I said, the key is each individual's own personal behavior. And I think that is important for us to remember. Corporate governance is only one part, but corporate governance impact on business, the economy, and therefore on society is what in the long run will make the big difference. And that is why it is absolutely critical that we do the right thing, not just now and then, but what's important is how you behave when no one is looking. And I think that's the way we need to run our businesses. Thank you very much.
As we reflect on the rapid changes which are happening all around us, we are at a very important phase in the growth story of India. We are on the process of reaching the third largest economy by the year 2030, which is just about 6 years from now. There is very rapid transformation happening within the country as well. And it is important for all directors, for all boards to be geared up to be able to face the challenges which may arise and are also which we are facing currently. One of the biggest issues which is coming up is this digital transformation. It's very beneficial. We are all gaining from it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time I request Lieutenant General Nath and Ms. Ravneet Kaur, Mr. Pradeep Kheruka, Mr. Ashwini Bhatia and Mr. Munjal to kindly release the Conclave Souvenir from IOD side. I request all of you to please get together onto the stage and we get the souvenirs onto the stage, please. IOD has been at the forefront of shaping the discourse on corporate governance and board directorship through its high-quality publications, and we are once again coming out with the immensely sought-after handbooks for directors and corporate professionals. These are the handbooks on enterprise risk management, which is the 5th edition, the DNO liability insurance, as Ms. Ravneet Kaur mentioned, and transformative technologies, 2nd edition.
For more than 3 decades now, IOD have been training and mentoring corporate directors for the reason that they are the kingpins of an organization's functioning and its overall performance. I quote Drucker again, every achievement of management is the achievement of a manager. Every failure is the failure of a manager. Extending this analogy, every success of a well-performing organization is the success of an effective board. And every failure is the failure of a board which ignores emerging trends and a comprehensive inclusivity in a world which has been described as a VUCA world by a management thinker, VUCA, a world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Boards must therefore navigate these choppy waters by constantly upgrading the skills of its directors and enabling them to stay ahead of the curve.